Hello, hello. I've got your weekly reading from March 11th to March 17th, 2019. So we're in Mercury retrograde as the week before this. It's already started and it will continue for a little while yet, mostly for the rest of March. So it's a slowing down of things, and things maybe not going as smoothly as you'd like. So it's a bit of a rest time. It's a good time to have a rest and reevaluate things. These cards this week are really lovely, and every week it reveals that they're never bad. They're never bad. It's how you can handle these different situations that come up. Normally I end with the qualifying card. This week we're starting with it because it just made so much sense. So the qualifying card says, take charge of the situation. It's Moses. Moses spoke very clearly of what his intentions were to part the Red Sea. I don't know all the other things he said, but the prophet Moses displayed courage and leadership throughout his lifetime. His clear decrees about his intentions led to miracles such as the parting of the Red Sea, bringing forth water from a boulder, and manifesting manna from heaven, or manna. Moses is a powerful, beloved, and inspirational leader who can lend you courage in this situation and also in your life's purpose. So, I've said this before, you need to be really clear in your intentions. You need to be super clear. What do you want? And these miracles will come. It is a time for manifesting. Now I'm about to show you the rest of the cards, reveal the rest of the cards, and you'll see how this ties in with the Moses card. We've got the Seven of Cups. It's a lovely, mysterious card. I love that one. It's actually infinite possibilities. The Fool. A lot of people read this as a very negative card, but it's actually quite the opposite. I'll tell you more about that. And then we have the Three of Wands, which wands are all about new beginnings and fresh ideas and all of that. So already you can see why it is that you need to set very clear intentions. So let's start with the Seven of Cups. The person that is in the black, that is you. And you have these infinite possibilities of what it is you can have, what you can want. Cups are all about feelings. You have so many choices about stability. You have choices about, where you want to live, what kind of lifestyle you want to have. You can have ideas about things that come to your head and to your heart. And right now you're supposed to go with your heart, not your head. It is about the trappings of wanting glory. So there's sacrifice, and that comes with that one, with the laurel. So this wasn't that long ago. Well, it was the end of last year, if I'm not mistaken, when this came up. I remember, or maybe it was earlier this year. It's about, with the glory you might be looking for, there's always a sacrifice. With all the wealth that you want, with, there could be foreboding. There can be things that you are not privy to, that you have no idea about. There could be things happening behind the scenes, whether it's with your relationships or whether it could be with work. It could be anything that you're trying to make these decisions about, or need to make some decisions about your happiness. This is a long-term vision of yours. It might be coming up in the next month or so. All of these things might be floating through your mind already, or have been for a while. These are all the possibilities right there. Those are all the possibilities. It's kind of like a lottery, really. And that is why if you're going too much in your head around and around and around, well, some of them might not even be part of the equation. So it's good to go with your gut right now. You need to go with your gut. And when you have really clear intentions, like this is all about, be very clear on where you're wanting to head, because the more clear you are on it, the better your outcome will be. So this is definitely saying, go by what's in your heart, in your, what's going to make you feel really good. Don't just, some people might think logically this is how it should turn out, but then they don't have all the information. There's something that's being withheld, and behind the scenes things, and so that card is really saying, go by your heart at this time. Don't be too logical. Your feelings are really important at the moment, because your gut feelings are telling you, maybe there's some intuition, but it's also telling you what you need to do for your own happiness, what you need to do to have this outcome that is like a miracle. Maybe some of you do need a miracle. The Fool card is kind of like representing the teenager. When you're a teenager, you just go off and do all these crazy things without thinking. And wouldn't that be nice to have as an adult sometimes? But it's talking about, look, there's the sun shining. The sun is such a lovely, powerful symbol of goodness. This is also the 0, the number. It's the very first card in the major arcana. And it is about, the universe. Everything that's in the universe started like this, it just all came. It's infinite. You can go within and without. It's expansion and contraction. So it's the beginning. It is about a fresh start. All about a fresh start. It is about the universe is going to give you a good outcome, and that this represents our higher source that will warn us if we need it. That, he might look like he's going along blindly, but if you look at the cards beforehand, if you have set your clear intentions and really manifest that, and you're using your heart, not your head, you will, and trust. This card's all about trusting. Trust the universe to look after you. And it's about taking a leap of faith. And it's interesting too, we do not know how high that little cliff is. It could just be a few feet and he'll be safe. But it's traveling lightly. It is carefree, and it's a fresh start. So know that you can have this fresh start knowing your full intentions of where you're wanting to go, but don't overthink it. Go by your gut. We're kind of in a holding pattern for a little bit. This is Mercury retrograde. Funnily enough, these cards are about a holding pattern. It's as things end, we're like, this is the bit in between the ending and the new beginning. And so it's almost like taking a big breath in, except I would always take my breath in through my nose, because that's the way it's intended to be. Getting off track about breathing for a moment, off the track of the tarot about the breathing. Your nose is specifically built to breathe in through it. The membranes in your nose heat up the air to the right temperature for your lungs. The hairs in your nose protect you from the bacteria and all the dust and whatever to get into your nose. And so the nose it's specialized. We don't even really think about it, but if you breathe in through your mouth, the air is not cooled properly or warmed properly, and it can't clean all the dust and dirt and particles that go in via the way the nose would work. It's the same with these cards. I know this sounds like a little off track, but it's not. Because if you have set your intentions really clearly and come from the heart, being true to you, and not wait, these cards said it's not about waiting for others to make the decisions. This is about you making the decisions to make things happen. That it will all be good. This card is saying the universe will look out for you and nurture you. And sometimes those weaving paths that seem like, oh my heavens, I can't believe this is happening now, they are the ending and the beginning of something good, something that's meant to be. If you are in non-action and inactive in your life, stuff's just going to happen to you. So you do need to act, but this is about acting from your heart. Be true to yourself, and all shall be fantastic. The Three of Wands. It's it looks like a bit of a nothingness card in one way, but he's a merchant, and he's actually looking out to the distance, and he has sent his ships out already to sail, and he's having to trust other people to do the rest of his work for him. So he's sending whatever it is he's sending off on these big ships to get to wherever they need to go, and he has experts in all those fields to trust that it will be delivered to the place it needs to get. And there's nothing he can do at this point. He's already sent them off. So these are your new ideas. This is all part of the plan. If you've done the planning in your brain, in your mind, take charge of the situation from your heart. Do what your heart's telling you, not what your head's telling you, with all these possibilities that could be true or not be true. But also knowing that there's sacrifices with everything we do. There's always a sacrifice of some sort. And this card here is all about new beginnings and endings. Endings, it's from the endings to the new beginnings. It's at the very start. It is the part that is fresh, new start. And this is about also that waiting bit, the in-between bit. You just have to be patient. This is a lot of patience, this one. And as long as you've done everything beforehand, you can trust that it's going to be okay. So I think it's pretty good time for everyone to, this comes up over and over and over again, about knowing where you're headed, coming from your heart this time, and trusting. I wonder how many of you actually have a belief in a higher being and, trusting God's guardian angels and God, Jesus, whatever your religion is, trusting the people that you believe in, because there are energies that help things to manifest. And you can manifest things that aren't good for you, but if you come from your heart, in this situation, it's saying that you can trust it. There's also this card here was saying that if you are going down, like this one's all about choices, even if you do choose the wrong thing, don't worry. It's saying the universe will get you back on track. So it will warn you. You'll have some warnings. And that the warnings come when things aren't going, when you're forcing things. When you're forcing things and the universe keeps repeatedly saying, it's not working, it's not working. You just have to sort of take a moment and realize, are you forcing this, or is this just a natural hiccup? But usually when you're forcing something, a whole lot of things will get in the way. So, but we are in Mercury retrograde, so it's time to just get ready for the next phase in April for things to go more smoothly. So have fun planning. Take some time out to really get all your ducks in a row, but do it from a heart space. Do it from what's truly going to be the best for you in the long run. Sound familiar? And remember to breathe through your nose and set your intentions that way so that they're clear intentions and that they will give you the best outcome for you, and then everything will just slot into place. And there might be a little bit of time before all of this happens. It's okay. So until next week, have fun with all of that, and you can go back the questions that I asked you in the other weeks, because it's funny how they all came up, that I really felt like I needed to ask you all those questions, you know, your mapping, because it really ties in with all of this. Those questions that you've answered before 0 to 6, you can review them and really get down to the heart of the matter and see how you can help to change that for your future. And I might add some more questions to those next week.